Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 3,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 100 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
Hello, friends. This is Spencer Love, your host of Over the Top Rope on the Win Column Sports Network. Don't forget you can head to wincolumnsports.ca for all of your previews, reviews, and breaking news from the world of wrestling, be it your major promotions or from the great province of Alberta, Canada.
Awesome!
This is your main man RJ from the Ringside Rant, heard only on the Visionaries Wrestling Network. So go over and subscribe across all your major platforms, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Stitcher to hear every great interview I have every Monday on the Visionaries Wrestling Network. Go over and follow the show's page on Twitter @_Ringside Rant. Follow the network's page @BizWrestleNet. And, as always, embrace the vision.
If you like podcasts and you are listening to Backbreaker Media, then you should listen to me, Chris Parrish,
and myself, Manoia,
and the Sounds of Struggle, because we are literally the most entertaining duo you'll ever come across in Western Canadian wrestling, baby.
We talk about things like wrestling
and other sports we like.
Wrestling,
but we won't talk about other sports that we don't like, because it's not that kind of podcast.
Like wrestling?
I mean, we like hockey.
And wrestling.
And we like football.
And wrestling.
And we also like to drink beer.
While wrestling.
Well, not while wrestling, but while watching wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to get into a conversation with Maniac and Chris Parrish, then you need to tune into the Sounds of Struggle live on Backbreaker Media.
Every Thursday.
Is when we hope to drop, but sometimes Mike Malawany doesn't do his job right.
Or we're too drunk to forget.
Yeah, that happens too.
Yeah.
He can bleep out the swear word, because we weren't supposed to do that.
Oh,
but
I'll try not to swear. I can't do it.
Yeah. Let's face it, the two of us, we're real.
And spectacular.
And we're a little bit of all right.
Yeah.
We're also strugglicious.
That we are.
That was kind of the key. We're supposed to do strugglicious.
Oh, sorry, I'm drunk.
Yeah. So, if you don't want to listen to us, then no, you're stupid, because we're entertaining. And if you want to listen to us, then come listen to us on Backbreaker Media.
Yeah.
Later,
he said.
Later, bitches.
The opinions expressed by Mr. Steven Styles on this podcast do not necessarily reflect the opinions of host Kyle Shaw, Backbreaker Media, their affiliates, and their sponsors. Backbreaker Media will not be held accountable for validity of any comments or opinions, and listener discretion is advised.
Hey guys, this is Kyle Shaw, your friendly neighborhood ring announcer, and you're listening to Monday Night Shaw on the Backbreaker Media Network. Once again, I want to thank Mike the Ref and Backbreaker Media Network for hosting the podcast and providing the recording equipment. My guest this week is Steven Styles, Squiggy. Definitely gave me a ton of opportunities. Basically, needed a ring announcer one day, knew that I wanted to try it out because I'd been doing sound at shows in Springbrook, and once in a while would be asked to come help in Edmonton or whatnot. And I would always show up and help and put up the ring and whatnot, and I would put up posters around the town and stuff. So Squig knew that I wanted to ring announce, and one day he needed an announcer in Calgary, and I got a text message that said like, "Oh, hey, can you ring announce for me in Calgary, like on the weekend or whatever?" And I was like, "Well, I've never done it, but I would like to, so yeah, sure." Like I owe a lot of my whole basic career to Squig, so and now I'm in Edmonton, and that's thanks to him as well. So he's a huge influence on my career, and a huge influence on my involvement in professional wrestling. So I want to thank him for coming on the show. I'm not going to waste your time with a bunch of plugs for upcoming shows and stuff, because we cover all that during the podcast, and I don't feel like doubling down on it. I do want to say happy birthday to Andrew Hawks, whose birthday it was on Saturday. Happy birthday, Hawks. And happy birthday to Ref Dougie too, who had his birthday at the last show. And then Squig, who I'm talking to on the podcast today, his birthday was the night he got bloodied up by Kevin Sullivan. So he was almost born and died on the same day. That been wacky, hey? Anyway, enjoy the podcast, and thanks for listening once again to Backbreaker Media Network and to Monday Night Shaw. Enjoy the show. All right, how's it going, folks? This is Kyle Shaw, your friendly neighborhood ring announcer from RCW, and this week on Monday Night Shaw, joining me at this time is Squig, aka Steven Styles, the owner of Real Canadian Wrestling. Steven, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you, Kyle?
I'm doing good, pretty good, bud. Pretty good. So, the last time we saw you, you were wearing a creepy mask, and you came out, and you decided to beat the tar out of Blue Tato. And then your boy Cujo gave him the big old splash. So, what's going on there?
Oh, it's just, you tried being in with Kevin Sullivan and almost bleeding to death. It's a new direction. There's going to be big surprises coming in the coming new year for the angle, the direction, the gimmick. It's something new to try, and just going to get crazier and crazier as we go. And Blue Tato was a little bitch, not going to lie.
I actually heard on a podcast a review of the show that his wrestling name is Ely. I didn't even know that. I just assumed his wrestling name was Blue Tato, so I announced him as Blue Tato.
You can now bill him as Pancake after Cujo splashed him. Because they had to scrape him up off the mat.
Yeah, the poor guy. Didn't he come back from a serious back injury?
It's the first time we saw him in over 2 years from last time he was here. Blazing Dicks beat the holy hell out of him and made his chest look like hamburger meat. So it's the first time you saw him, and honestly, I haven't seen Blue Tato or Ely or Pancake, whatever you call him, in 2 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, speaking of the new year, RCW is going to be doubling our dates. We're going to be doing 2 shows in Edmonton and 2 shows in Calgary every month.
Yeah, it's a big step for us, but like I said, the fans in Edmonton will be coming out and filling the venue every month for the last 4 months now, and same in Calgary. Calgary's filling up every month, so if the fans want it, we'll give them more and more and more until they get their fill of wrestling in Calgary and Edmonton.
Yeah. It's definitely going to make RCW the most active federation in Alberta.
Well, yeah, it's going to be one of the most active, but again, we're not here to compete with companies like Prairie Wrestling Alliance or Monster Pro or Pure Power down in Calgary. Those are all 3 great promotions, and I encourage fans to support them as well. we're just taking a step to try and give the fans more wrestling and fill their wrestling intake.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not trying to bait you into burying the other promotions. That's not what I'm about here. I'm just saying that us going with double the amount of dates of anyone else that's a big step, and it's like a make or break move. You know, it's like when Vince McMahon did WrestleMania. Like, it's a huge risk.
Oh, we've got RCW's got a good crew of guys. You know, yourself, Andrew Hawks, Heavy Metal, Zach Mercury. The list goes on, and they all bust their ass to get the shows out there, get the fans knowing about the product, and as long as everybody stays on the same team, 2 shows a month in each city is just going to be like running one, just more excitement for the fans.
Oh, yeah, I don't think anybody on the RCW roster is not up for it.
No, again, like I said, we've got a great crew of guys, probably one of the best rosters in Alberta, except for, missing 1 or 2 pieces, but who knows what 2019 holds? Those pieces could show up for us.
Yeah, one of those pieces may have been called out at the last show by Andrew Hawks.
Yeah, that was kind of shocking. Hawks didn't even let the office know. He just went out there and kind of pulled a playing card out of his back pocket. So caused a lot of heat and.
Oh, was that an issue like the following day?
Well, yeah, it's when you don't let the promoter know what's going on and the guy works for another company, it's kind of a heat-seeking missile. But that's always been Andrew Hawks from day one. He's always out for what's best for business and what gets himself over.
Yeah, I imagine you're the one that catches the heat. I don't suspect that Andrew Hawks got any phone calls about that.
Oh no, Andrew Hawks took the brunt of the heat. So I'll give him that. He was a man and took the heat because he knows that. What he did, he didn't give the office permission. He didn't tell the office what he was doing. So, and no, Hawks took the full brunt of it. So,
oh, okay.
I'm interested to see what comes out of this because, from what I understand, there's actually a lot of personal heat between Slammer and Andrew Hawks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like shoot heat. I don't know what's going on there. As far as I knew, they were best friends.
Yeah, that was kind of my understanding. Was that Hawks wanted bitter friends, better enemies type thing or whatever. Like, sometimes your best competition is your best friends,
Well, yeah, that's exactly it, but before I've been here, there's actually legitimate heat between the two of them, so who knows?
I mean, they're such characters that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, yeah, then you throw in Vince Austin in the mix, and in my opinion, it's the lunatics running the asylum if this gets going right.
Yeah, it could be pretty nuts. So, yeah. Like I say, 2019, like you say, we're going double the dates, and you're the promoter of the federation.
Yes.
And I just, a lot of people would think, oh, maybe that's, a really cool job, but to me, it just seems like all the promoters I know, it seems like it's really overwhelming, and there's so much to keep track of.
It's beyond overwhelming, but again, like myself and Kurt, for instance, we do it for the fans. We're not, our business day doesn't end at 5. We're from morning to midnight. We're lining up talent, towns, venues, making sure insurance is in place, making sure dates are set, tickets are printed, the wrestlers know where they're going to be, who they're working, and being a promoter, you wear a lot of different hats. But, I wouldn't change it for the world. It's one of the best experiences I've had for the last 16 years.
Well, that's what I was just going to say is that, I have to commend you for, I mean, there's been ups and downs, I'm sure, in RCW. Even in the time I've been there, there's been a few times where, there's been some pretty light crowds. But other times, we've been filling that St. John's Hall, for the last who knows how many months.
It's been 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, and it's getting crazy. So I'm just saying, I have to commend you. You've kept it going for 16 years. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the credit also goes to Vic and your mom.
Yeah, it's our RCW started in 2003, and it was a family-run company. And it was, my mom passed away in 2010, and since then it just me and my dad just kept it going. With my kids, Matthew and Jasmine, they're big supporters. my partner in Calgary, Ian, he's a strong push behind the company. So I've had a lot of support to keep it going. And again, like my dad Vic, he's the lifeline of RCW. He's first one there at the ring, last one gone at the ring, sets it up, tears it down, pulls it.
Yeah, 100%. If your dad wasn't a part of the show, like if your dad had to call in sick, it would be a bad news day for RCW. Like,
well, it'd be a rough day for you, Kyle, because you'd have to take the load.
it's probably what would have to happen, and that would be a real rough day because I've never driven with a trailer, nor have I ever driven an RV, so...
Well, it's time to learn there, Kyle.
Yeah. But yeah, no, your dad, 100%, like, if it wasn't for him, I don't think any of this would be going on whatsoever. He's dedicated, and it's awesome, too, because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten in the RV and been like, oh, how you doing, Vic? And then just, boom, this is the last bloody time we're doing this. I'm not doing any more shows like this, But then the next month rolls around, and there he is to pick me up once more.
He gets...
he loves it. As much as he hates it, he loves it.
Vic gets very angry, but honestly, it's what keeps him going, It's... Like, again, the company started with my mom and my dad, and, when my mom passed away, I gave my dad the choice, shut her down or keep going, and he wanted to keep going because it was a memory of my mom, so... There's times where, he's a 78-year-old Ukrainian who has the same temper as I do, But honestly, I don't think he'll ever want to pull the plug. And times are rough at times, and times are great at times. It all just depends on the month and the fans.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think your dad lives vicariously through you a lot of the times, too.
Oh, he's also got, He grew up in wrestling as well, not as a wrestler or part of the business, but he was going to wrestling back when he was like 10, 11 years old when, there's Luther Lindsay, George Gordianko, Gorgeous George. Stu Hart was still wrestling, so he's been around a long time, he knows all the Harts. He's close friends with Ross, Bruce, Bob Johnson.
So how did he become friends with those guys? Was that after you became a promoter, or was
I've known the Harts since I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
My dad and my mom were very close friends with the old Stampede road agent Bob Johnson.
Oh yeah, and I know Bob.
From there,
but I've met him a few times.
I remember Bob used to stay at our place after Edmonton shows, and my mom would make him homemade pizza.
This is the same Bob Johnson that was the announcer for Stampede, right?
Yeah. Good old Bob Johnson. And it just from there it just grew into me loving the business, me getting into the business, and again, it's. I have a lot to thank, to Bob Johnson, Ross Hart, and a lot of people don't realize it's Kurt Sorokin's another big person to help get me in the business. He taught me the promoting side of the business when I was just breaking in. So I owe a lot to Kurt Sorokin as well. We have our differences at times, but at the end of the day, Kurt is one of my closest friends in the business.
100%. I personally, I don't think I've ever even really had a conversation with him. I think I might have met him at the door at a PWA show one time. You
don't know what you're missing. Kurt's a very intelligent man when it comes to wrestling and the business. So, and I'm not just blowing smoke to get over him. Kurt doesn't get enough credit for the stuff he's done over the years.
Yeah, fair enough. I know PWA has a big show coming up night after our next show.
In Edmonton, yeah.
Isn't it Duke Durango's last match in Edmonton?
Yeah, that's actually one show I want to attend 100% because, again, Duke Durango's 25 years in this business.
Well, we wanted to go to the one in Calgary, the last match of the one in Calgary, but it snowed real bad that day, and we didn't want to,
Yeah, but the show here in Edmonton, Duke Durango and Chris Steele against MRB and BVD, that tag match alone could be on a bill anywhere in Western Canada or North America.
Yeah. I mean, we've definitely at times seen all four of those guys grace the RCW rings.
Yeah.
Maybe not in Calgary or Edmonton, but I know I've seen all four of those fellas in Springbrook.
Yeah, and BVD and MRB are probably two of the most well-known unsigned talents next to Andrew Hawks, Bobby Sharp, You know, and those are all talents that have been in RCW. You know, Bobby Sharp, former RCW Canadian champ. You know, Andrew Hawks has held every belt in RCW.
Oh, really?
So, you know, he's probably one of the only Triple Crown champions along with Slammer. So, again, like, Alberta's a hotbed for professional wrestling right now. It's, you know, it's early on, I think it's the hottest it's been in a long time.
It's definitely a thriving scene, I suspect. I mean, you even got, like, CWC going on in Red Deer. You know, like, it's...
CWC is a good promotion for what they're doing in Red Deer. You know, they've got their own little market there. They've really made Red Deer their town. You know, they got some really strong talent there. Like, for instance, our current junior weight champ, Pride. Envy's there. Dylan Stone, who has developed into being a really good all-around wrestler, Dylan Stone. And there's a couple other ones there, like Dean Richter's there.
Yeah, Dylan Stone, he wrestled on our last show.
Yeah.
In Edmonton, or not the last one in Edmonton, the one with
the October one.
Yeah, the one with the Battle Royal on it, the Bone Crusher Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Also, Cherry Doll wrestles for them.
Yeah, she's got a bright future ahead of her. She's still new in the business, though. She's only not even a year in yet.
I mean, yeah, as far as lady wrestlers in Alberta, like she's got to be a contender for the RCW Women's Championship.
Yeah, like I said, currently held right now by Envy. Another, you know, I give her another year or two, and she's gonna be a breakout star. Is Envy and Angelica. You know, Kaya March, another one. Once she gets her feet under her, she's gonna be great in the ring to watch.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so let's just take it back there. You said that you grew up and you knew the Hearts and whatnot, and I imagine your dad was taking you to like lots of Stampede shows. Like, at what point did you decide you wanted to be a wrestler or a promoter?
I've always loved it. And then when Stampede came back in '97, Bob and Ross asked me to sell merchandise. And then I would go on the road and sell merchandise with Kurt, because Kurt was the Stampede promoter for the road shows. And one of the guys got hurt, and I ended up getting thrown in as a referee. I didn't know anything about refereeing.
Okay.
Scared to death, but luckily the first match I ever got to ref was Red Thunder and Bill Yates.
Oh, okay.
And actually, Bill Yates is the one I give credit to for the Squiggy Magoo gimmick. And ever since then, I got a crash course in wrestling, being on the road with guys like Bill Yates, Red Thunder, Ruffy Silverstein, Highlander, Tiger Khan, the legendary Cuban Assassin, Hercules Ayala. So I was taught wrestling on the road by these guys.
Okay.
You know, so
like you didn't go to any like official camp or anything?
No,
like that?
I trained a bit with Tex Gaines and Bill Yates. Again, Tex Gaines is another underrated person. A lot of people think Tex Gaines, Ivan Thompson is a pain in the ass, but Ivan's probably one of the most sound guys out there, and he's trained on some of the best, like Marky Mark.
Oh wow.
Phoenix Taylor, Michael Avery. You know, he's had his hand in training Colton Kelly.
Oh wow.
You know, so
I think he's training some folks up in Grand Prairie.
No, actually Texas moved back to Edmonton now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know Bill Yates apparently was training some boys up there because he wrestled on the Grand Prairie card that we did with the CWE.
Yeah, I don't get a chance to talk to Bill Yates much, but again, you know, he's another good guy in the business. Just everybody's got their issues, everybody's got their demons, and well, Billy's Billy, you know.
I hear you. You know, like it's one of the things that I've definitely noticed more when I moved to Edmonton was that the little like political like affiliations that people formulate and stuff, and you know, I try not to just like take any kind of sides, you know.
Honestly, wrestling is a very political game, but you know what?
It's got to be hard on you because you've got to have it coming down the worst because you've got everybody coming at you with their ideas. Like you got Merck and Metal and Andrew Hawks. And, you know, you got Vince Austin. Everybody's got to be like just encourage you on these ideas, and then
everybody's got their 2 cents to put in, you know, and they all have great minds. Don't get me wrong, they always have great minds. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, I'm the promoter, I'm the booker, I have the final say. But I believe everybody should have their input and have their say, because there's many times me and Andrew Hawks have butted heads about stuff, and 9 times out of 10, we communicate and we agree on something where maybe his idea was better this time or mine was better. But I don't believe in pigeonholing somebody into just being a worker, because you do that and then they don't stay happy long in the company.
That's one of the things I've come to enjoy about working for RCW, just as the ring announcer, is the moments where you can just, okay, let's improvise something and do something, you know?
Well, exactly.
It's fun, you know?
Like, there's a lot of times where, like, the old saying is, you can get the fans going, but can you pop the boys?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, heavy metal, for instance, everybody, for a while, thought heavy metal was the biggest piece of shit in the business. Heavy metal, honestly, Justin is one of my good friends. But yeah, we had our falling out, but now we're good friends. But we still have our times where we disagree on things. But
yeah,
again,
of course,
in the last 5 years, heavy metal has become again one of my closest friends, and he's been a strong supporter of RCW. He's went out above and beyond. But so is guys like Andrew Hawks and Zach Mercury, and the list goes on and on. One guy who doesn't get enough credit is Sweet Daddy Soul, Jeremy Joseph. That kid is going to be a breakout in 5 years.
Oh, he works so hard, and
he just finished up the Lance Storm Academy again.
Like, this is what I'm saying, is he's already come to our federation, like, what, was it a year ago, maybe? No,
he's been around at least more than that. Been around 2 years.
Oh, no, hasn't been with RCW for 2 years?
Yeah, he was around before you were around.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He originally was trained with AJ Sanchez.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, like, he's been on the roster as a fully trained guy for a long time. And then just to spruce it up and get better, he decided to go to Lance. Like,
again, he doesn't get enough credit. Like, honestly, Jeremy spends a lot of hard work and time behind the scenes as well, Like, he's the guy that handles all the talent. They come in, pick them up at the airport, make sure they get food when they get in, hotel, drives them to towns, drives them back to the hotel, drives them back to the airport.
And he's such a positive and friendly fella, too. Like
again, if I had to pick one person that is my best friend in RCW, it'd be Jeremy Joseph.
Well, he's the kind of guy that, you walk up for the obligatory wrestling handshake and he just reaches over and gives you a big old hug,
I think he just like hugging men. That's all I think.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's the way it is with him, so,
and that's the thing. It's a lot of guys in RCW we're a family, but it's also a team,
It's definitely, yeah. It is very family-esque. It's dysfunctional family. It's at points, but at most of the time, everybody's got everybody's back, and it's one of those things where, maybe you'll make fun of somebody, but I'll make fun of my little brother, but don't you make fun of my little brother?
Exactly. If there's 1 month that can go by where someone's not mad at someone else in the locker room, and then it wouldn't be an RCW show. There has to be one show, or one person on every show has to be mad at somebody or have a disagreement. The way I look at it is, it's best for business.
Yeah.
Reality is everywhere now. Reality TV is the hottest thing right now in, the universe right now is reality TV. WWE is the same way. They were doing it for a while. Now they're gone back to popcorn playhouse wrestling. Like, Becky Lynch is mad at this person, blah, blah, blah. You got to sometimes blur the line between reality and, wrestling. But then also, you have to also think of it as professional wrestling is an art. It's sports entertainment. And the best way to put it is fans pay the $20 to come see us wrestle, to come and get us entertained. By the end of the day, we're just like them. We still go home to our wives, our kids, our girlfriends, our puppies, our Nintendos, whatever it is. So it's, again, like RCW is more, we're not scared to push the envelope. We say we're family entertainment, but we're the family entertainment that, you're not scared to take your kids to, but you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, like, I often equate it to, like, when I was a child, my folks, they would be like, oh, you want to go watch The Terminator? Or, You want to watch RoboCop too? Like all these R-rated movies, which, you know, clearly a 10-year-old child or, you know, even 8, 9 years old, whatever, shouldn't be watching these films. But my parents are like, it's entertainment, just watch it, whatever. It's fun. And so you grow to appreciate that sort of stuff, and you grow up and, you know, I'm not a completely dysfunctional human being.
Oh no, like, and honestly, professional wrestling, especially Alberta wrestling, it's grassroots.
Well, that's part of Alberta wrestling is, like, if you take it back to the Stampede days, is, yeah, it's a little bit of there's a little bit of a rough and tussle, like, down in the mud, the blood and the beer type thing, you know?
It's not even that. Like, I grew up every Saturday night for 20 years, always Northlands Aerocom with my dad, Stampede Wrestling. Didn't matter if it was a blizzard, a snowstorm, a tornado. We were at Stampede Wrestling. That was our Saturday night ritual. And that's the wrestling that I want to bring back to Alberta, where dads can bring their kids, grandfathers can bring their grandsons. You know, it's not uncool to hang out with your parents. You know.
No, yeah,
exactly
and I mean at the same time, like, I'm not trying to say like RCW is like an R-rated product. It's not necessarily, but
to a point we are R-rated though.
I'm just saying, like, it's one of those products where you can bring your kids, but just be aware that your kids might see some blood and they might hear a few 4-letter words.
Well, that's exactly it. And, like, honestly, nowadays, everybody is so, I guess best way to put it is, everybody's so scared to open their front door and see what's out there. In RCW, we don't have the whole, oh no, we can't say this, we can't say that. If it's in the general public, it's in everyday life, then it's not off limits.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe in going out there and having an angle where there's rape or murder or child's being sexually assaulted. But you know what?
No.
If Andrew Hawks and Vince Austin are two long-bearded, pissed-off Vikings from Newfoundland that want to come in and put Onslaught through a door or 5 doors or 10 doors, that's a part of wrestling. It's story. It's enthusiasm. You know, like Epic Eddie Rude. What is Epic Eddie Rude? Is he Rick Rude? Is he Ric Flair? Is he a bull rider? No one knows. But every morning I turn on my phone and I get a text message from Eddie Rude, and I'm scared to see it most days.
Yeah, I get the same ones.
But again,
I think
Eddie Rude's a performer.
I believe I read on Facebook that he's retired from sending out the
Oh, I still get the odd one. But
okay.
Again, Eddie Rude, you know.
It's one of those wrestling retirements. Hey.
Yeah, he's the Terry Funk of RCW this month. But like I said, it's the best way to sum it up with RCW is you're not coming just for a wrestling show. You're going to come get entertained.
Yeah.
Because if every fan in that crowd doesn't go home hating one guy, loving one guy, blown away by one match, or criticizes one match, then we didn't do our job. Because if everything's always bang on, it gets stagnant and boring.
It's a variety show.
Exactly,
like it's not all heavyweight matches. It's not all hardcore matches. It's not all technical matches. Or
like for instance, last show in Edmonton here, Son of Irish versus Heavy Metal.
Oh, that kid's fantastic.
Everybody said it was going to be a mismatch. Just Heavy Metal's going to squash him. On my opinion, and from a lot of other people agree, that was match of the night.
Yeah, that was the general consensus.
You know, so again, like that's the thing is, RCW is built on you never know what to expect, you never know what's going to happen, but you're going to pay that $20 and you're going to see the car crash.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's the way I've always built RCW up is other companies, you know, say professional wrestling the way it's supposed to be, or we're the premier company.
Yeah.
Okay, WWE has went from drawing 60,000 people on shows to 18,000 house shows. It's lucky if they get 2,000 people. But right now, indie wrestling is so hot. Like, I can't turn on any social media outlet without hearing about the Young Bucks. Rich Swann, Kenny Omega, you know, Shane Strickland, Jeff Cobb. But I hardly hear about Brock Lesnar anymore or John Cena. Yeah. And that's because wrestling fans are used to car crashes. We need to get wrestling back to being where it's good versus evil. Like when I was growing up in Stampede Wrestling, the biggest rivalry was the Hearts versus Karachi Vice. I remember when Muckett Singh got a Burt Owen Hart's eye, God rest his soul, but had his ankle for 6 weeks. Finally, at the end, one came back with the Band-Aid off the eye. Boom, beat Muckett Singh, won the North American title. Place went crazy. It was packed to the rafters, sold out. Because the fans believe that. But now if you go out there and you just put Wrestler A versus Wrestler B, C versus D, E, and so on, sure, the fans will come out paying $20.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're like, well, that was a great match. That was a 5-star match. But what makes them want to come back in 2 weeks' time or in a month's time to see that same product again? So the art of professional wrestling is lost. And I blame it on a lot of indie darlings, as you want to call them. Like, I'm going to use, for example, go off topic, Andrew Hawks. I watched Andrew Hawks at MRB have one of the best matches I've ever watched in Alberta wrestling. It was on a Calgary show in PWA. I was there watching it. One of the best matches ever.
Okay.
Because they went out there and they knew how to bring the crowd up, bring the crowd down, bring the crowd up, bring the crowd down. And they told a story. Now it's, I'm going to use, like, for instance, everybody says Teddy Hart, best pure wrestler in the world, best untapped talent. He's also the best storyteller out there.
Teddy Hart?
Teddy Hart.
Oh, I've heard the rap on Teddy Hart is that he's fucking nuts.
Oh, Teddy Hart's fucking, Teddy Hart's not fucking nuts. Teddy Hart's intelligent.
Oh, okay.
Teddy Hart legitimately is probably...
He's like walking that fine line of genius and insanity, but...
Teddy Hart is a new age Brian Pillman.
Okay.
New age Brian. Do you remember Brian Pillman in WCW where it's that...
Yeah,
is this what you want, Booker Man?
Or the workers or whatever?
Exactly. Ted is like that. Ted is a genius. He's the mad genius of the new generation.
Okay.
Like Ted Hart, he does the most amazing stuff in the world. But like, I was close with Teddy for many years. And Teddy said, he goes, I've had WWE contracts. I've had Mexico contracts. I fucked them all up. Pardon my language. But why do you think he did that? Most people still want to watch Ted Hart wrestle.
Yeah.
Because they never know what he's going to do. But at the end of the day, Ted's the same guy. Takes his shoes off the same way, his pants off the same way. But Ted sells tickets. But how many times can you see that show till finally you're like, I've seen enough of it. So like I said, Kyle, wrestling is on an uphill swing right now. But it's on an uphill swing because all the boys are going out there and working together and building it again. So Alberta wrestling is in the same way. But the best way to sum it up with that is the people that are here, the promoters that are here, we got to politic and we got to police the business. And I'm sure you know where this is going.
I think I might know where it's going. We just had the rant about Ted Hart.
Okay, but again, Ted Hart's a whole different subject. I love Teddy, and I'll go on the record and say Ted Hart is one of the best unsigned talents in the world, next to Harry Smith.
Yeah.
Again, two Alberta boys are two of the best talents in the world. Right now, honestly, I think pound for pound, the best wrestler in the world is Harry Smith.
Oh, he's crazy. I remember when he wrestled Scott Justice in Calgary, and he would, like, hit him, and I'd be like, oh, that looked like ow. Like, really, like, nasty. Just, like, it doesn't have to be that rough, bud.
But that's Harry.
Yeah, but no, it was awesome, too.
You imagine being 6'10", almost 260 pounds.
I was like, there's nobody in RCW that could legit beat this guy and fight. No way.
There's no one in professional wrestling that can legit beat that guy. My dream match, honestly, my dream wrestling match is Harry Smith versus Brock Lesnar.
That's what I think would be a great match.
Like, if they actually went out there and just let them work, it'll blow your mind.
I think it would be amazing.
Like, Brock Lesnar he can work, but like the old saying is, why work smart, not hard? Why bust your ass if you're still getting the same envelope at the end of the night?
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know, I think the best thing with Alberta wrestling right now is we've got so many great talents. There's already, numerous great promotions.
Okay.
Again, like Pro Wrestling Alliance, Monster Pro, Pure Power, and Lethbridge. RCW. Edmonton alone has 3 promotions. So the fans have so much wrestling to choose from.
Yeah.
So it's an open market right now.
What were you getting at before?
If you really want me to go off on things, I'm going to talk about Heart Legacy Wrestling.
Okie dokie. Now, I don't know much about the situation with Heart Legacy Wrestling. I've heard rumors that they were associated in some way with the Canuck Pro, which apparently advertised a bunch of shows and then never did them, which, by the way, King of Glory, that was a bum move. I was looking forward to calling that show this weekend, once this episode airs, it will have been this past weekend, but yeah. Heavy Metal even posted pictures of conversations like he had with like Hernandez and Jimmy Rave, and they're like, yeah, no, this guy, he never even contacted us about flights or paid the deposits, so yeah, like, just don't advertise shows and then not do them. That's just going to make the whole business look like shit.
But that's the thing, though. It's, again,
I don't know if that's what Heart Legacy was doing, or if that's why there's heat on them or not. I mean,
Heart Legacy, when it first started, was going to be the next big thing. Ted was involved. They had investors. They had everything. They sold out the Victoria Pavilion, the first company to do that since 1999.
Oh, wow.
They made money. No one got paid.
Oh, really?
They brought in Kevin Nash, Chris Masters, Bobby Lashley, Lance Storm, John Hennigan, Johnny Devine. The list goes on and on and on. Sure, over time, guys got paid, but, hotels were burnt.
Oh, no.
Fucking sponsors were looked after. So the first show went off. They did a second show. Boom. Same thing all over again.
Just like poor behind the scenes business practices.
Let's put it this way: the second show under a different name again, which is again Stacey Angel, which isn't her real name. Her name, whatever. I just call her the Rat Stacey. Anyways, they ran their show under a new name. That show drew maybe 500 people. Lost 90 grand.
Oh my God.
Why? Because they brought in the Young Bucks, Harry Smith, Lance Hoyt, Bobby Lashley, Chris Masters, Kevin Nash, Conan.
All for one show.
Teddy, Generico was
in front
there.
of 500 fucking people.
Exactly.
Oh, were these people paying $500 a fucking ticket? Like,
no, they were only 20 and 50.
Back?
So, because, the Grand John, it was all there. They had sponsors again.
Oh.
Show again, some guys didn't get paid again. Oh. So after those, Stacey got caught on and everything. Yeah. Everything went going there. They disappeared. Then last year they came back. Yeah. They're going to do it every Friday night at a bar in Calgary. Again, God rest his soul, Smith Hart.
Yeah.
I love that man to death. Smith was a great guy. He was the power behind Heart Legacy when they came back. Yeah. Him and Matt and Zach Mercury. And they were wrestling in front of I think their biggest bar show they drew was 14 people.
Yeah.
And then,
oh, really?
Then they ran this
people.
Yeah.
In Calgary.
And then they ran this big, huge Stampede show at Ranchman's. They're gonna pack Ranchman's. I heard. This is second rate. I heard they had maybe, if they're lucky, 50 people there at a big tent show that fits 3,000 people in a tent. They bring in Chris Masters. Doesn't draw. Stacey Angel, the brains behind Heart Legacy, fakes a heart attack but takes the cash box.
Oh, God.
So...
Jesus.
I'm not... what I was told was Chris Masters refused to go out till he got paid, so the boys had to come together and find it and pay Chris Masters.
Oh, really?
So that was fine with that, and then...
That's super sketch.
Exactly, so then that was the last time they disappeared, But now I hear they're back with another new figurehead. Steve Gillespie is the new promoter of Heart Legacy Wrestling.
Okay.
Steve Gillespie...
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
...is probably one of the biggest pieces of garbage you ever meet.
Okay.
Back when I first broke in this business and I wanted to start my own company, he came to me with an idea. I listened to it and all this. So I started doing the groundwork for it. And about 2 months later, he shows up at my door, threatening me and my parents, saying we owe him 10 grand because I used his name on this and this and this. So that got him nowhere because, well, that got dealt with very easily. And then he's also the same guy that he ran Can-Am Wrestling for 8 years. Told everybody that Can-Am was making $1 million a year.
What?
So his story is Can-Am was making $1 million a year.
An indie wrestling federation in Alberta?
Yeah, and he was also telling the boys that WWE was scared of them. That's why they didn't want to run head-to-head with them. There's also the same guy that said that he taught T.J. Wilson and Harry Smith the top rope powerbomb. Steve Gillespie is like 5 foot fuck all, if that. Harry's a giant. TJ's one pound for pound was one of the best wrestlers.
Harry Smith is British Bulldog's son. Why is he going to learn any wrestling moves from anyone other than British Bulldog?
You know, well, Harry was taught by Bruce and Tokyo Joe and all that.
Oh, I'm sure he was, but I'm just saying he's not going to be taught by...
That's the thing is, now they're coming back every 2 weeks at the Bonus Sportsplex.
I'm just imagining you trying to, like, bring Harry in the ring and be like, okay, kid, let me teach you a hold. I'm the promoter. Harry would just turn around and fuck you up.
Harry just laughs. Like, when I pick it up, I'm like, remember when I go to Harry when I say, like, remember when Gillespie taught you the top rope powerbomb? Harry's like, pretty much like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, so it's like, no, but they're coming back, and, you know, they're bringing in, they're bringing a lot of good guys, like Laredo Kid, you know, up-and-coming luchador from Mexico and Texas. They got Brian Pillman Jr., you know, the legacy alone of that name.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like...
But they've done this before where they've ran shows and canceled shows and never refunded the money to the fans.
Yeah.
There was one show they ran, they canceled it. And out of the goodness, RCW gave those fans tickets to our show free of cost, just to make it up.
Yeah.
You know,
what about the Canuck Pro guys? What was going on?
That was Stacey Angel and
that was her too.
Somebody else behind it. Like, it's the same pattern. They announce all these big shows and then boom, they
I
disappear.
remember that one had a bunch of like Lucha Underground guys on it, and I think we did something similar because they all got fucked out of like $100.
Exactly. So we did a thing. You know, bring your ticket, get your ticket for $10.
Yeah.
You know, and
Speaking of $10 tickets, December the 1st in Edmonton.
Yeah. $10 advance.
$10 for advanced general admission seats.
Yeah. Good way to change the subject there.
Well, I mean, we could go on and on about Hart Legacy for the
and we should, because the fans need to know this.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm seeing on Facebook and all these fans talking about how great it is. But I don't want to see it at the end of the day when these fans spend their hard-earned money just to get burned by Hart Legacy because of something. And the bad thing is every time they come back, Stacey Angel, who's the figurehead behind this whole company.
And it's sort of like, you're just sort of trying to put it in everybody's mind. Like,
no, I'm also trying
This is a fool me once situation.
No, honestly, I'm
you.
shooting straight.
Yeah.
Because, like, in Calgary by itself, PWA and RCW have busted the last 10 years in Calgary, building that city back up to try to make wrestling great again in Calgary. For shit like that to come into Calgary and wreck it.
Yeah.
You know, put a bad taste in their mouth. Because what...
And that's one of the things I was saying about you earlier, is that, like, how you've kept RCW going for 16 years. Like, I mean, this seems like these people are just, like, they like wrestling, but they just don't have the head on their shoulders to be able to keep it going for any longevity, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have the...
It's not that, Kyle. The best thing is Hart Legacy Wrestling. There's no hearts involved.
Oh, really?
Ted is the only heart involved.
Oh, I thought Ted and Harry were both involved.
No, Harry won't work for Stacey Angel.
Oh, okay.
Harry's washed his hands of that.
Oh, I could have swore I saw him, like, advertised or
Oh,
something.
no,
Maybe that's old
they'll
stuff.
advertise him. They'll use his name to try and get people to pop for it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, again, Ted's a mad genius.
Yeah.
Ted will work Hart Legacy. But when it fails, it's going to be Steve Gillespie holding the bag.
Yeah.
So like the time before that, it was Spencer Tapley holding the bag. Before that, it was another guy holding the bag. Again, the root of it all is Stacey Angel never lets her name be put on anything. Because when it fails, it's someone else holding the bag. So when this next set of shows, when all the boys don't get paid or they get stiffed or something goes wrong, they're not going to go to her. Because she'll probably fake another heart attack or somewhere and go sit at the McDonald's down the street having a coffee. But all the boys will be at Gillespie. Which he deserves, because again, he's a piece of shit.
Okay.
No, like, that's a shoot, like Kyle. Like,
Yeah.
I'm hard about this because
Yeah. Well, I can
I've
understand.
built my company up. I'm sure we haven't always been the most greatest company, but we never quit. We never died away. We kept going, and working our way up.
Yeah.
From the grassroots, we started our first show ever at 20 people. We had shows where we had 8 people.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're getting shows where we had 150, 200, 300. Same way PWA started. But they all put hard work in to build up. And then people just walk in and cash the checks and go. Like with this new commission bylaw thing. Sure, great, there's no more commission. Guys can come in and work all they want. But then guys come in once every 2, 3, 4 months, run a show, bring in a name, cash the check, take off. But then if the fans get shit on or screwed over or not happy, the companies that are already here that are established have to be the ones that have to babyface it back up and work our asses off again to win those fans back.
So, like, if they come in and they kill the town for us, that's no good.
Well, it's not good for business.
I understand where you're coming from there, yeah.
You know, it's like, for instance, like, you know, then you get a lot of guys, you know, we want to work everywhere. Well, it's great you want to work everywhere, but most guys are agreeing now, you know, we're with one company, we're staying there. But the best way to sum it up is, what is McDonald's known for? The Big Mac. Can you go to Burger King and get a Big Mac?
No.
Can you go to McDonald's and get a Whopper?
No.
So why would you want to... So if you can get the same thing in every other place, what makes you special? How would you... Okay, if I'll put this instance. Say you use Andrew Hawks. If he's working for every company in Edmonton, as a promoter, how would you market Andrew Hawks?
I think it would be very difficult because you would have to cater to Hawks himself, because if Hawks wanted to be a babyface in, you know, Edmonton, he'd have to be a babyface in both companies.
But that's
exactly it. Wouldn't make
but
sense.
What makes him so special?
Yeah, that's...
So why would fans want to pay $20 to see him work for us so they can go the next week down the street and pay $20 to see him work there?
I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Oh, it's because you haven't done the promoting side of things.
Yeah, no, I definitely haven't.
Like, that's the whole thing. I know you wanted this podcast to be more about RCW, about wrestling, but no, I'm going to give you the crash course in wrestling.
No, I appreciate it.
Alberta has the best wrestling fans in all of the world, all of North America and beyond. Alberta and Edmonton have the hottest wrestling fans along with Calgary. They're passionate.
100%. They're all good people, too.
But the thing is like, they're wrestling fans. They just want to be entertained. They just want to see the product, which is great. But if everybody is doing the same thing, how long can they be entertained for?
Yeah.
You know, like, everybody loves variety. But how come Baskin Robbins isn't around no more? They had 31 flavors. They went belly up. But Marble Slab is still around because they have their own niche.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, it's quality over quantity.
Exactly. So, the best way to put it is, Edmonton has 3 promotions. That's great. Perfect balance. All the promoters coexist together. They don't step each other's toes. You know, although I do have a little bit of heat with Monster Pro, like with Massive Damage. He don't like me. Well, I love him though. He's a great guy. Sean's an awesome guy. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, best way to sum it up with that is, we all have our own market. We all have our own niche. Now, if you add another niche to that market or another flavor, it's just going to make it more harder. Sure, everybody's going to have to step it up. And there's no such bad thing as competition. That's what killed WWE.
Fans only have so much money they can spend on wrestling tickets every month, right?
Well, that's exactly it. So, like, but Edmonton has over 1 million people in it.
Yeah.
There's 3 companies, and no companies are drawing 4, 5, 6, 7, 1,000 people.
No.
No one's doing that.
Nobody's. I mean, we're lucky if we get 1,000 people.
And a whole month of shows among all 3 companies.
Yeah.
So you think of it that way. There's 1 million people. We're drawing 1% of Edmonton's population among 3 companies. A 4th company will come in and cut it down. Because honestly, there's a lot of untapped wrestling fans in Alberta, but they don't know indie wrestling.
Okay.
So that's the thing is, we gotta. The best way to put it is, each company has built their own fan base up. You know, some fans only come to us. Some fans only go to PW. Some fans only go to RCW. Some fans only go to 2 of us. Some fans go to 3 of us. But we always got to think of a way to make new fans. Find those new fans. Like I tell the boys, anybody can sell 5 tickets to friends and family. Try and sell 5 tickets to people you don't know.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you've been out with me where I've sat at a pub. The guy next to me, hey, do you like wrestling? Yeah, I love it. Oh, we're here at this tape. Would you like to buy a ticket? Oh, you know, I'm going to tell you what. Here's a poster. Let me know. Here's my phone number.
Yeah, I've been thinking
New fans.
I should take some tickets to work with me because half the time I'll like, if I've got a spare minute, I'll ask people, hey, do you like wrestling? And some people are like, yeah. And then I'm like, you should come check out our show. But I mean, if I had tickets there, I could be like, do you want a ticket for $20? You know. 9
times out of 10, when you ask the fan if you like wrestling, oh yeah, would you go to the shows here? Well, WWE hasn't been here in 3 years. Well, there's RCW.
I've had at least 2 people be like, oh yeah, no, I like indie wrestling. Oh yeah, you know this guy Squig? And they like, yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a whore for this business. I will whore myself out anywhere I can to get my company known. I admit, I will push whatever I can.
Yeah.
I will sell a ticket to a blind guy with a seeing eye dog. He'll hear the show, but I'll make sure he knows what's going on with that show.
He'll know that you have good quality and everything.
Exactly. Well, when he doesn't go into promos for himself, but
I'm going to promos for myself.
Oh, the last couple of shows, the boys just want to go there to strangle you.
Why?
Guys, we're like already running behind, and you go into this long, dry tab about, the 50-50 or buy me a drink or all this.
Oh, those are just quick.
Oh, it's fine. It's entertaining.
It's not going on for fucking 5 minutes or anything, you know.
There's been times you have, but you got to promote. Kyle Shaw, Monday Night Shaw on the Backbreaker Network.
Oh yeah, it's the Backbreaker Network, Backbreaker Media Network.
Well, again, like then that's a go topic. Yeah. Mike Malawani. A lot of people criticize, he's just a wrestling mark. Mike's a very intelligent guy, and he bleeds wrestling in Alberta. We've had our differences in the past, but again, like him and Andre Cormo and Brian Hamilton, Vicky and Mandy, Ronnie, they're what keeps Edmonton wrestling going because they'll support all products, everything. So yeah, I want to give them a shout out because they're a great group of fans. Again, Edmonton has the best wrestling fans.
Yeah, 100%. Once again, thank you to Mike the Ref for supplying the equipment and hosting the show on the Backbreaker Media Network.
This podcast has been all over the place, so...
Yeah.
What do you really want to talk about, Kyle?
Okay, well, let's get back to the beginning. Like you said, your first experience in the ring was as a clueless ref. Well, when did you have your first match?
February 23rd, 2003 in Sherwood Park against Bill Yates.
And was that for Stampede?
No, that was for an outlaw promotion called Saskatchewan Championship Wrestling.
And where was this show held?
In Sherwood Park. They came to Alberta trying to expand.
That's great. That's like that story that Marky told us about PWA when they were going to run Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, the Prairie Wrestling Alliance presents tonight in Hawaii. What?
Exactly. You should get Marky on your podcast and let him tell you some stories. That guy's got a lot of great stories. But no, my first match was against Bill Yates. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I'm not going to lie. I did not know what the fuck I was doing yet.
Yeah. Bill Yates, a vet, though, he probably was able to lead you through.
Oh, Bill Yates, it was probably the worst match Bill Yates ever had. The finish was a top rope suplex. And you can hear on the video saying, me screaming, no, Billy, no, Billy, no, Billy. And Billy's like, fuck you, you're going.
Didn't you tell me the other day that you took a top rope suplex from him once and it was the only top rope
Exactly,
suplex?
The only time I ever
And now
took a
I'm learning
suplex.
that this is the first match you ever had?
Yeah.
A fucking top rope suplex?
That was the finish.
Oh my boy, that's crazy.
Yeah. On that same show was also the first time I ever got in the ring with Tex Gaines and put me over as a battle royal. He let me eliminate him, and then Bill Yates eliminated me. And at the end of the show, PWA invaded, and they gave me a T-shirt. I still have that T-shirt, but never went nowhere else after that.
So you joined the PWA roster
For one night.
One night.
One night. Nothing came of it after, but I know that was in 2000. Actually, no, that was 2002. Sorry, February 23rd, 2002. Because RCW started May 10th of 03. But yeah, it's like I said, it's been an uphill battle. I remember when I first started Edmonton, I had an Edmonton promoter. I'm not going to name names or nothing.
Yeah, okay.
Because I don't want him to feel like an idiot. But
we wouldn't want to get any heat for like shooting on anybody like
yeah, because
Steve Gillespie
I don't shoot on people. Steve Gillespie, you're a piece of shit. But anyways, I know I had a promoter when I first started running Edmonton. It was our 8-year anniversary tour. The promoter's like, "You're going to run Edmonton. I'm going to put you out of business within 6 months.
Okay.
We're going to bury you." Well, that was 8 years ago. And now we're still here and we're still drowning. When I first started, I had Marky Mark say to me, "You ain't going to make it 3 months. Our series going to be out of business within 3 months." 2 years ago, Marky Mark works for RCW.
Oh, wow.
Marky Mark said to me, "I'll never work for RCW."
Well, I'm glad he does. I like Marky.
Me and Marky never got along for years. Now, I've always liked Marky. Marky, in real life, is one of the most nicest, funniest guys in the world. Marky the wrestler, probably one of the most untapped talents out there. And he could have went further if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But he was happy. Marky was happy entertaining those fans.
Yeah.
You know, and like, same as Phoenix Taylor.
I'm not familiar with that.
Phoenix
name.
Taylor could have been a big name in this business. But he jumped off a basketball net at Nate Gym in PWA, landed the wrong way, shattered his foot.
Oh, no.
Actually, I have it on DVD still. I showed you one time. And again, like, in the last, going back thing, like, in the last 16 years, RCW has had a whole bunch of different guys. PWA's brought in all different guys. You know, and again, like, you know, no one thought RCW would make it past the first year.
Yeah.
Well, we did it. Oh, they're not going to make it past the second year. We did it. So on, so on, so on.
Yeah.
I've had guys who looked me dead in the eye and said, "Never going to work for RCW. Never step foot in an RCW ring."
Yeah.
Johnny Devine, for instance,
Okay.
said, "I'll never work for RCW." Calgary show, walked to the ring, cut a promo, walked back, said, "Thanks for doing that, we're done." I did that, why? Because Johnny Devine said he'll never work for me. And I like Johnny Devine. Johnny Devine is one of the best talents as well.
So did he ever end up working for
No,
RCW?
cut a promo. But we never did business after that.
Oh, really? Huh.
I'm the only promotion in probably, actually, 40 years that ever had Bruce Hart work a match in their ring.
Oh, really?
Bruce Hart only ever worked for Stampede Wrestling in Alberta.
Oh, wow.
But he worked for me. He was in a 6-man tag with, it was Heavy Metal, Tommy Lee Curtis, and Bruce Hart versus Teddy Hart, Andrew Hawks, and Kid Cash.
That sounds pretty good.
Amazing. And Bruce, I remember when I was booking the show, Bruce was like, "Can't get over as a heel, kid. Won't get over. Just go there and be a heel." He shot on Teddy, the place fucking went nuts. Bruce is the original Mad Genius.
I met Bruce very, very briefly after one of our big RCW shows. I think that might have been the Jeff Jarrett show. Do you have anything to say about the Jeff Jarrett show?
I felt bad. I honestly, like, I was always a fan of Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, I'm not trying
to
put you on the spot. I'm just...
Oh, no, it's fine. Like, that was an incident that happened. You know, he was battling his demons. He straight up screwed up. You know,
Yeah.
He was drunk, had a battling alcohol. He showed up, he was intoxicated, made up some story about fake flights and all this. You know, but from now I hear he's sober, he just inducted to the Hall of Fame. With urea. Excuse me. I wish him all the best.
Yeah.
You know, it's everybody battles demons.
100%. Everybody has their struggles.
You know, like there's no hard feelings. I would do business with Jeff Jarrett again if I had a chance.
Yeah.
You know, like he was probably one of the best guys in the business in the 90s and early 2000s. You know, but
speaking of guys that we're going to be doing business with soon, we've got the franchise Shane Douglas coming in January.
that is honestly, from the very start of watching wrestling, I've always been a Shane Douglas fan. Even when I first started wrestling, I used to call myself the franchise Steven Styles.
Yeah.
I was a heel, so everybody would call me the French Fry, but I've always loved Shane Douglas. I came out to his music. I idolize Shane Douglas from the time I started even to now. He's still, in my mind, one of the most smartest men out there. He's pretty close to the same level as Kevin Sullivan.
Okay.
You know, and when I had a chance to do business with Shane Douglas, I jumped on it right away. And again, like, RCW is known for bringing in the most obscure, out there talent.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, what kind of thought you put into bringing some of these guys in. Like, I mean, there's been some oddball choices, like, Virgil comes to mind.
How can you not like Virgil, though?
I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm saying I love it.
Like,
it's such a weird choice. Like,
but when you had a chance to talk to Virgil, did you or did you not at least pop in that conversation?
I definitely did. I definitely was like, oh yeah, this guy's totally full of shit, but this conversation is very entertaining.
Virgil, again, honestly, I'm not going to lie, was more of a to pop the boys type thing.
Yeah.
Because no one ever thought I'd bring him in. And it turned out we did good business. We didn't do the best business, but we did business. Did good business to a point with him.
Yeah.
Again, like, we've brought in... People couldn't understand, why I brought in Ricky Reyes.
Ricky Reyes was a hell of a talent, and he
Ricky
had a
Reyes
lot of knowledge. He did that seminar with a few of the boys, and he had a lot of good information to disposit.
Ricky Reyes isn't one of the most well-known names, but he's probably one of the most respected names.
Well, he's been around for so long.
Like, another person I brought in, people don't understand, is Jesse Neal.
Yeah, from what I hear, Jesse Neal has been one of the guys who's been training fellas for RCW and stuff too.
Jesse Neal is, I'd say, out of anybody next to Jimmy Joseph, he's my next best friend in this business. Him and Curtis Cujo. But Jesse Neal was, again, he was brought in on a fluke because going back to King of Warrior, Rob Steele. Rob Steele booked Jesse Neal to do an appearance at a church. And if you ever met Jesse Neal is the most unreligious person you've ever met.
I have met Jesse Neal.
Like, he's the mohawk, tattooed, swearing, fucking beer drinking redneck from Florida.
Yeah.
But they brought in Rob Steele booked Jesse Neal with this church thing, and I happened to have a show that same weekend. So he got a hold of me. He's like, "Hey, would you be interested in Jesse Neal?" I never heard of Jesse Neal until he told me about him.
Oh, okay.
Who he was. Actually, my son Matthew was the one that found Jesse Neal videos, showed me who he was.
Yeah, I kind of heard that Matthew's kind of like your RCW talent scout. Like, you bring in these obscure indie guys.
You'll find me all these guys and.
Be careful, though, because he was getting me to watch a bunch of backyard stuff, so don't let him tell you to bring in the backyard guys.
No, we'll leave that to Heart Legacy. But no, like with Jesse Neal, Rob Steele, another real winner. He's on the same page as Steve Gillespie, who's a piece of shit.
Okay. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know Rob Steele. I only communicated with him the one time.
He's a fry cook at McDonald's. Put it that way.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw that he had that show booked with a bunch of RCW guys on it. So I was like, "Do you need an announcer?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
But anyways, back to Jesse Neal's story. I agreed. I'll use Jesse Neal on the show. So he gets here, and like the day of, he's like, "Hey, I'm stuck at work. Can't get away from work. Can you pick Jesse up from the airport?" I'm like, "Okay, sure, whatever, help you out." So me and my wife at the time, we go pick up Jesse Neal from the airport.
Was it just a situation where he didn't want to face the guy after
booked
him on a show and then canceled?
We'll get to this. So,
okay.
So we pick him up. I introduce myself, blah, blah, back and forth. So I call Rob Steele. I'm like, "Oh, where's Jesse Neal staying?" He's like, "Oh, he's staying in my parents' basement." So I'm like, oh, well, okay. So I'm like, okay, where's your parents live? He's like, oh, he gives him the address. I'm like, you know, he's like, but don't tell Jesse. Don't worry. Tell me not to worry. There's a gym down there. It's safe. We can lock the door and I'll come sleep with him.
Parents' basement?
Yeah. He's like, but don't worry. We'll lock the door and I'll come sleep with him so he's safe.
The fuck?
So, you know, Jesse Neal was like, the fuck I got myself into? Me being, a promoter, I'm like, I'll take care of it. I'm like, no, I'll put him up at our sponsor hotel at the time, Yellowhead Inn. And so that's all fine. And then, like, the next day, we're getting ready for the show, and Rob Steele is nowhere to be found. Doesn't answer his phone, nothing. So we're getting the show set up and everything, and about 5 minutes before doors open, in walks Rob Steele to the venue. Jesse Neal doesn't know who the hell this Rob Steele guy is.
Yeah.
So anyways...
sorry about the thumping around.
Sorry about thumping, but anyway, so that show, Jesse Neal actually worked the late Billy Day Bone Crusher. And at the end of the show, Rob Steele's like, I know we're in agreement, but I can't pay Jesse Neal. Huh. I'm like, well, you're kind of screwed then, because it ain't my problem. I kept my end of the deal. He's like, well, the church canceled the appearance tomorrow. So I'm like, well, when's he fly out? Oh, I booked him to fly out in a week.
What?
So a guy I've never met in my life, I had to hear for a week. And I had to entertain this guy for a week. And in that week, we became close, and he's been up here 3 or 4 times. He's been my champion. He's had 5-star matches with Chucky Blaze.
Well, he
MRB.
was on the first ever RCW show that I was at in Red Deer. And
he dove off the balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, there's been a couple times where he's supposed to get up here, but due to passport issues or custody battles with his daughter, couldn't make it. But Jesse's going to be moving up here in the new year.
Oh, right on.
And
he'll definitely be an asset when we go double the dates.
Oh, he's going to be more than an asset. Jesse Neal is... I say the only reason the WWE's never signed him is they already have John Cena.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, John Cena is a poor man's Jesse Neal. Jesse Neal's a true-life war hero. He's a Navy SEAL veteran. He's been to war.
Yeah.
He was on the USS Cole that got exploded.
Oh, wow.
And he told me he carried his best friend off, dripping blood wrapped in an American flag off that ship. Jesus. One of the only survivors.
Damn.
Everything.
That's like
but meanwhile, a guy who's never, ever even seen what war looks like, runs around with dog tags on his neck, saluting people.
Yeah.
Jesse Neal is
a movie once.
Jesse Neal is the true John Cena.
I hear what you're saying.
But WWE doesn't need 2 John Cenas.
No.
Like, I would honestly, I would put Jesse Neal against anybody in professional wrestling and he'd have a good match. When there's a match, if you look on actually YouTube, it's on there. It's Jesse Neal versus Kenny Omega from RCW in Calgary. They worked 45 minutes and they fought through the entire building, down a hill, into the Bow River, back up the hill, into a dumpster, off a roof of a garage, just to come back in and have a time limit draw. And it's probably one of the most entertaining matches I've ever seen.
Nice.
And Kenny Omega still talks about it to this day.
I guess, let's talk about the first ever RCW show that you ever promoted.
Oh, that was May 10th, 2003 in Gibbons, Alberta.
Where's Gibbons, Alberta?
Just north of Edmonton here, about 20 minutes north. Small little redneck town.
Okay.
We had a record-breaking crowd of 23 people.
Right on. And what ring did you guys use?
Our old original 12-foot by 12-foot ring.
Oh my God! Really?
It was like working on a king-size bed.
That's like if you suplex a guy from one corner
into
the other corner, you would hit your legs on the ropes. Like,
let's put it this way, I think that was probably the worst independent wrestling show to ever happen in Canada.
Wow.
The only highlight of that was there was a guy on the show, Matt Gladiator. He passed away in a car accident back in 2005.
I think your dad was telling me about this.
And he was actually being looked at by Dory Funk Jr. to go down and trade the Funkin' Dojo. Great farm boy out of Saskatchewan from Biggers. And that was the only highlight of that show.
Yeah.
We named our first ever RCW champion with our replica gold eagle belt from WWE. First ever champion was Sergeant Derek Steele, who wrestled back in the 80s and late 90s, early 90s.
Was Jasmine even born at this point?
Yeah, Jasmine was... no, actually, Jasmine wasn't born yet. It was May 10th, 03. Jasmine was born in September of... no, sorry. Oh, Jasmine was 2 years old, because that was May 10th of 03. She was born in 01.
How about Matthew?
No, Matthew was 2 years later, 05.
Okay.
June of 05 he was born. But no, it was the worst show. Marky Mark was there, Phoenix Taylor. They ripped the show apart. But I thought it was the coolest thing in the world because I had my own company, my own ring, I was on my own shows. It was a learning experience.
I hear ya. Yeah.
So honestly, the first 4 years of RCW was...
When was the second show? How much later was it?
July 23rd of 03 in Millett, Alberta.
So the first show was in May and the second one was in July?
Yeah.
So you missed what?
1 month. 1 month to recoup.
And then the second one was in Millett.
Millett, Alberta. Headlined by main event, an 8-man tag. Steven Styles, Patrick Myers, Nick Fusion, and Raj Desi, who went on to become Jinder Mahal.
Okay.
Against Mad Gladiator, Sean Courage, Jack Daniels. And it was in front of a record-breaking, probably 20 people as well.
Okay, so when does RCW break into Calgary or Edmonton?
We didn't break into Edmonton until our 8th anniversary.
Oh, really?
For the first 8 years, we never ran a big city, nothing. We always stayed small towns. The biggest city we ran in the first 8 years was Red Deer.
Oh, wow.
We used to run Popper Riggs Bar and Grill.
Really?
Yeah.
See, have you ever heard of a federation called XWE?
Yeah, that's CWC now.
Oh, okay. I kind of thought so because they used to do like I went to one show way back in like 2005 at the Springbrook Multiplex. There it was XWE.
Yeah.
And they had wooden ring posts on the ring,
Yeah.
and I do think. Pardon me. I do believe Dylan Stone wrestled in the main event.
Yeah, probably main event against probably.
It was like Eagle something Eagle or.
Oh yeah, that's back when CWC was a classic. They had what did they have there? They had Dylan Stone was there. Sean Martins was Joey Six.
Yeah.
Jack Pride was Jack Pride.
I don't even know if Jack Pride was there.
Oh, he was. I think he started around that time too. They had Stephen Hawks.
Can't remember.
Alien Kaz, Bipolar.
What the main guy's name was? Who the
There was Sip the Clown was there. I did a show once for them in Bowden, Alberta, and their ring was so shitty. They had an 18-foot ring with 20 by 20 ropes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just was asking because it was just this one. Other than RCW or PWA, it's the only other show I've been to in Alberta.
The show I did in Bowden, I wrestled a guy named Bipolar. He was drizzling shit. I wrestled that show as Tex Gaines.
You wrestled as Tex Gaines?
Yeah, came out in blue camel pants, boots, and shaved head, and a black t-shirt, and I was Tex Gaines.
And did Tex Gaines ever
Oh, I don't think he ever found out. Because no one was there. There was like 8 people. And that was, the match before me was, the under 18 division was...
how angry Hawks would be if I wrestled a match as Andrew Hawks.
Oh, I might make it happen. But the match before me on that show was the under 18 division. Yeah. It was 4 8-year-old kids in a match. It was amazing.
They had under 18 division?
Yeah, it was 4 8-year-old kids.
Oh my God, really?
They were more talented than half the
Was one of them son of Irish?
Huh?
Was one of them son of Irish?
No.
No.
Son of Irish could actually work. That kid's got a future.
No, but I actually, I talked to him, and he's like 14 or 15 years old or something like that.
He's 16.
Oh, okay.
16.
Yeah, but he told me he's been wrestling for like 7 years.
Oh, he's been training. Well, his dad's in St. Irish.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble or anything.
That kid, son of Irish, when he comes into himself in the next 5 years, he's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So it's... Again, Alberta's known for under 18 division. It started in MPW back in 03 with Brady Roberts. Bobby Sharp started there.
Wasn't Matt Rats kind of a...
Matt Rats was a precursor, but they were more of a MTV, dance party, good time.
But it was about like teenagers wrestling.
Yeah, well, that's where Harry Smith started.
Yeah.
Rene Dupree, Ted Hart, Jack Evans, Patrick Myers. You know, they were more. You know, they had money behind them.
Yeah.
You know, Felix Taylor worked there, Markey worked there. But like I said, the first under 18 division was in MPW, which I give massive credit for. And that broke in guys like Bobby Sharp, Brady Roberts, Big Jess, Tom McDonald, Danny Manners, Knight. You know, so there's a long lineage of different ideas in Alberta wrestling, and we just need to keep building it up.
Yeah, for sure. So, like I say, you were talking earlier about how you didn't go into any big cities for 8 years of RCW's existence, and now here we are, 8 years later, and we're about to be running more shows than any other company.
Yeah, and in the new year
and we're going to be doing 2 shows every month in each big city in the province.
Yeah, and in the new year we're looking at I've already got contracts in for Fort McMurray, Grand Prairie, Lloydminster, Bonnyville.
Oh, okay. We're going to go all the way up to Fort McMurray, eh?
We're going to expand.
Wow.
My goal by the end of 2019 is I want to be doing shows in BC, Saskatchewan.
Well, I know we had planned to do the tour with Brian Christopher in Manitoba and whatnot, the one that got called off just due to, like, logistical reasons or whatnot.
Yeah, that was the guy I was working with for that, TJ Pratt. But like, you know, I said, unlike other companies, I don't just walk into someone's territory and run shows.
Yeah.
You know, I want to build my company up to get there.
Yeah, so if you had like somebody in those towns that was like, oh, I'm a promoter here, come and we'll do a show.
Oh yeah, like we've done shows in Maple Creek, Saskatchewan. We've done shows in Kyle, Saskatchewan. We've been into BC before. We've done Tumbler Ridge, which is Barricade's hometown.
Oh, really?
You know, I've done shows with Leatherface, Rick Patterson, in small reserve towns in BC. We'll go anywhere. We'll go anywhere as long as it's financially sound for us.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
as long as we're not losing money.
Exactly, but
ideally we're making money. Yeah.
Ideally, the way I look at it is, why spread yourself too thin when you got a market here that's so untapped?
Yeah, for sure. Like, if we can make $100 in Edmonton or $100 in Fort McMurray, we're better off to just make $100 in Edmonton.
Well, exactly. Like, the thing is,
money on gas.
I don't believe in the market point being where I know I'm never going to make the WWE or Japan or Mexico or all that. So I'm happy running RCW, making it a company that grows.
Yeah.
But I run RCW for the boys, to get them seen, to get them experience, get them to the next level. So I don't need to go out there and blow my wad on a big ass turd for no reason.
Yeah.
It's business.
For sure.
You know, like, that's the thing. It's like, honestly, going again, like, we have one of the best rosters in Alberta.
100%.
You know, so you just gotta. RCW's doing good. We're at the point where we're on the cusp of getting everything rolling in the right thing. You know, we've had TV offers. You know, Kevin Sullivan was just in here. Kevin Sullivan said, "We're just missing a few little pieces, and we could be on TV."
Oh wow! Whoa.
You know, like, and that's the thing.
Did he enlighten you to what those pieces are, or is that
it's just more organization? More organization. Production. Bring the production up. You know, like, he says we have great stories. We have great characters, good development. Just little pieces that have to grow.
Yeah, for sure. I understand where he's coming from.
You know, like, that's the reason why I want to bring Shane Douglas. He's a great mind for the business, you know, and I'm sure he'll have input that will help the company grow in the new year.
Oh, I'm sure he will too.
You know, like, Abyss is one of my good friends, and I've brought him in 3 times now, and he's coming back again in the new year, you know, and in May he'll be here again. You know, and he's one of the head guys for TNA.
Okay.
You know, we've had Govinder Singh, you know, who's one of the up-and-comers in TNA. He's put us over huge. You know, we've had Tommy Dreamer come through. We have Mr. Anderson.
Well, you're just going to name names, so let's do let's close off the show with like a little like name association. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll say a name and you just tell me like a little blurb about what you think of them. So
Okay.
let's start with Shane Douglas.
Brilliant.
Okay. Let's go to somebody that might not be somebody you'd think of, but Vince McMahon.
He's the god of professional wrestling.
Have you ever had any interactions with Vince
Nope,
McMahon?
I haven't. I got to meet him once at Owen Hart's funeral. And actually, I also got to meet him again at Stu's funeral. But he is truly the mad genius of all of professional wrestling.
Okay, what about, okay, let's go with Ted Hart.
Best unsigned talent in the world. He is the mad genius of this generation.
Okie dokie. Vince Austin.
Middle-aged and crazy.
Okay, Andrew Hawks.
Andrew Hawks, wow. Breakout talent.
Okay, Gunnar, the Pagan Destroyer.
Big and clumsy, but has a bright future.
For sure, 100%. How about Zach Mercury?
He's the universe. No, Zach has got a lot of untapped talent that people haven't seen yet.
For sure, he's a smart guy. What about Heavy Metal?
Heavy metal is the king of politics.
Okay. And our current RCW Canadian heavyweight champion, Christian Strife.
He could kick your head off without even trying.
All right, and now, last but not least, what about Thaddeus Archer III?
Thaddeus Archer, on shows he's my bitter enemy, but behind the scenes he's my right-hand man. I can't say enough good things about Thaddeus. He's a production genius when it comes to stuff. Him and Barricade blow my mind and stuff they come up with.
Yeah.
So yeah, Thaddeus Archer. On shows I hate him, but behind the scenes.
What is your opinion of like the Archer Report?
When it first started, I hated it. Not gonna lie, because it was drugs, and jokes, and all that.
Yeah.
The last
about that.
2 months, I'm the biggest fan of the Archer Report. I can't wait. As a matter of fact, once I'm done this podcast, I'm gonna go watch a new episode.
Yeah, he posted one today.
Yeah, with Bruce Beefcake, so I want to watch it.
Wicca Wild Jess. Wild Jess. You should watch it. It's
I
pretty
will watch
funny.
it for sure.
Okay, well, with that said, I want to thank you for being on the podcast. Just give the fans a little rundown what the deals are for the big shows in January, and what's the big deal for the show coming up on the 1st here.
Well, December 1st, we're in Edmonton, or it's our Christmas.
We actually have a show on the 23rd of November.
23rd of Calgary, yes.
That's the first one, so let's hit that one first.
Well, that's at the Royal Care Legion #1 in downtown Calgary, licensed all ages. Tickets are $20 in advance, $25 at the door. They'll feature Heavy Metal and Big Jess against Matt Hart and Strife at the tag main event, as well as a Survivor Series style match where it's Team Dylan Knight versus Team Derek Cross with the recent Storm graduates on each side. And again, it's RCW Calgary shows, you never know what to expect.
Yeah, it's always...
It's the official in-ring return of Scully Crew. He'll be wrestling Jose Swervo, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then after that, we move into Edmonton on the 1st for our end-of-the-year blowout fan appreciation night where tickets generals are $10 in advance, ringside $15. Fundraiser for the Edmonton Food Bank, it sounds anonymous. So bring a food bank donation or an unwrapped toy for the Christmas Bureau. And then we move a week later, we move to Calgary for our last show in Calgary for 2018, Seasons Beatings, which will feature Seasons Beating Battle Royal.
That's in Calgary. What date?
On December 8th.
December 8th, okay.
And we close the year out, and then we come back a month later on January 4th in Calgary with Shane Douglas. Tickets for that are already on sale and moving fast. Like honestly, I cannot believe how quick tickets are moving for that show with Shane Douglas. Then the next night we return back to Edmonton on Saturday the 5th with Shane Douglas again here, and tickets for that show are selling like crazy as well. So RCW is kicking off. I mean, it's ending 2018 with a bang, and kicking off 2019 with an explosion. So just stay tuned to the podcast, the Backbreaker
Media Network.
Backbreaker Media Network. Sorry, Mike. Too many headshots.
Monday Night Shaw.
Monday Night Shaw. Stay tuned to the network. Stay tuned to RCW on Facebook, because you never know who's going to show up. You never know what we have planned. You know, and like you said in closing, Edmonton fans, Calgary fans, get ready, because 2019 is going to be busy. And pretty much summing it up, the last thing I got to say is, Steve Gillespie, you're a piece of shit. Thanks, Kyle.